Welcome back, guys, to another one of my top lists here, and today we're going to be talking about the best free Quest games for the Meta Quest platform. So this is going to be for all you guys who are getting a new Quest 3, which is rumored to be coming out possibly on October 12th. We'll find out soon here with the Meta Connect happening, next week. So that's going to be exciting. But today we're going to be talking about all those free games that you may want to download as soon as you get your Quest. Obviously a lot of us are going to be spending a ton of money getting the Quest 3. You're going to want to get in there and play some free games and play with your friends and stuff. And there's a ton of really good free games. They're not bad by any means. Some people think free means bad. That's not how it works. And I'm here to show you the 12 best games that you can download for free so you guys can get yourself ready as soon as the Quest 3 comes out. Or for those of you guys who have the Quest 2 and want to go ahead and, download some free games for that as well. We're going to go ahead and get into it. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming tech is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
The first one here coming in at number 12 is a game that used to be called PokerStars VR, which is now rebranded to Vegas Infinite. This is a free-to-play, Vegas poker style game, and it has a lot of different options for those of you guys who are fans of casinos and stuff. They have poker, they have slots, they have blackjack, they have roulette, they have craps, they have a bunch of different gameplay, and there's always a ton of people playing this game, especially because you can also play this game on a flat screen with VR people, so you never have a shortage of people to play with. It is a ton of fun. It's a really social game. That's what I kind of really like about it. 12 people around the table playing some poker and stuff with either your friends or with random people online. The environments that they have around are really cool, to be around in VR, and it kind of makes you get into the mood, and they've done a really good job. And there's a lot of things you can interact with. You can use your coins that you get for free in the game just by playing to unlock like digital items and stuff that you can kind of use while you're in there playing poker and stuff. So a lot of good stuff on here. If you're into games like this, the casino vibe, this is definitely a game you want to download and play with your friends. That is Vegas Infinite coming in at number 12. The next one here coming in at number 11 is probably not going to surprise many people, and that is Gorilla Tag. This is a game that's kind of taken the free-to-play games on Quest kind of by storm. There's so many people playing this game, and it's the most ridiculous concept, as you guys are looking at in this video. But it is a hell of a lot of fun. Basically, you are a gorilla, and you're kind of playing like tag and stuff like that. You're running around, as you can see here, climbing up different things. The movement system is really smooth. It does take a little bit to get used to, but once you get used to it, there's a ton of people here to play with, and you're running around, acting like a giant gorilla, playing hide and seek and tag and all that kind of stuff with other people. It is a really fun game, and it always has a lot of people playing. It's a really social game. You will run into a ton of kids in this game, though, as you would probably in most of these free-to-play games, which is the only downside of free-to-play games for some people. But it is a ton of fun, and it is a very unique game. The movement system is not anything you see in VR with the way that you're moving around and climbing things about, but it is definitely one of the most interesting and fun VR experiences you can have on the Quest platform. That is Gorilla Tag coming in at number 11. The next one here coming in at number 10 is Pavlov Shack Beta. This is a game that's been around for a while on the Quest platform, and it is a first-person shooter, and it is a ton of fun that you can actually play this on the Quest, and it is free to play. They have always been updating this game. It's cross-platform. It's a ton of fun. If you're into FPS games, this is definitely the one to get. A lot of people love this game. It kind of reminds me of, if you guys want like a comparison, it's probably like a Counter-Strike version into VR. It's not as fast-paced as Call of Duty is, but it's not a really slow-paced game either. Kind of falls somewhere in the middle, which is why I compare like to Counter-Strike, that kind of vibe in the game. There's a ton of maps, a ton of modes, a lot of good stuff. Graphics are really good on the Quest, and if you're into first-person shooters, this is definitely one to check out. Pavlov Shack Beta coming in at number 10. The next one here coming in at number 9 is Gun Raiders. Gun Raiders is technically another VR shooter, but this one feels very different than the one we just talked about. You can even just see that just from the footage that you guys are seeing here. There's multiple game modes on here, but this one relies on just a lot of quirky stuff, which is really fun. It's jetpacking through the air, climbing from wall to wall, like you're like a monkey racing to the top, and just shooting people. It is really chaotic. It definitely feels like a really fun game to play in VR, but it's just very different than the game we just talked about before. This game is super popular, so you'll always find full lobbies and stuff like that. Again, really fast paced. This is probably more in the realm of like Quake and Unreal Tournament and stuff like that back in the day. But just really, a lot of cool different game modes, a lot of cool things that you're doing with bow and arrow, with swords, with the jetpacks and all that kind of stuff. It is a ton of fun. If you guys are into fast-paced shooters like this, I would definitely recommend checking this one out. Gun Raiders coming in at number 9. The next one here coming in at number 8 is Blast On. Blast On is a 1v1, competition where you're basically trying to eliminate the other person in like a fighting duel kind of sense. But what's really cool about this game is you have unique weapons that you're kind of grabbing around you. You're using your full body to move around and not get hit from all these bullets that are flying at you. It's a really unique game, not anything else really like this. And the competition is really fun out there. It's really good. You can even play tournaments and stuff with 12 people in a lobby and kind of go in there and be the last person standing. You got people in the audience watching you as you go, and then the person who loses is out and the person who wants to come in next comes in next. It's kind of like a bullet hell shooter where you're kind of dodging all these bullets coming at you and stuff. The arenas are super cool. The social area and hubs that they have in here where they have like little arcade games you can play, hanging out with people in the social hubs is really cool and a ton of fun before you get into the actual meat of it. They have, PvP, you can level up and all that kind of stuff. Really, really cool. Definitely check this one out, guys. Blast On coming in at number 8. The next one here coming in at number 7 is Gym Class Basketball. And yes, this is a basketball game that you literally play 5v5 against other players and other basketball players around the world. And you're literally playing a full-on game of basketball. You literally can dunk, you can do layups, you can shoot, all that kind of stuff that you would expect is there. And it is really intuitive once you get a hand of the controls. Really social game. I mean, who would have thought that you can play 5v5 basketball in VR and free to play on top of that? It is really good. If you're a sports fan, this is definitely on the top of your list, especially if you're a basketball fan. I mean, the fact that you can, play a full-on basketball game and it not just be like, oh, a little dunk competition or a little bit of a shooting competition. No, a full-on game of basketball you can literally pass to your teammates, like you can see there, do alley-oops. You can play in all these fun environments and stuff. A ton of fun, guys. Definitely check this one out. Gym Class Basketball coming in at number 7. The next one on this list coming in at number 6 is Rec Room. Rec Room is a really gigantic social game, and it probably doesn't need any introduction. There's a ton of stuff you can do in this game. You can play mini games, you can play paintball, you can play laser tag, you can play a variety of different stuff on here. This is a gigantic world where people create their own worlds and hang out and play a bunch of different games and stuff like that. This also exists on phones, so you're playing against people who are also on 2D flat screen devices, along with VR players. There's a ton of content in this game where you can never get bored. If you're into social hub games like this, definitely check out Rec Room. The next one here coming in at number 5 is Ultimax. Ultimax is a game. If you guys are familiar with 2D games like Rocket League and stuff like that, where you're trying to shoot a ball into a goal, think about that game, but also put mechs now involved. And it is as cool as it sounds. You're literally trying to score goals. You have these gigantic mechs that you're kind of powering and using their arms and stuff to punch this ball into the arena. It is a ton of fun. 2v2 action where you grab a teammate, you can pass. You can play. You can also play 1v1 in these gigantic mechs. It is like nothing else you've probably played before, and it is a ton of fun. Again, if you're a sports fan, this is another one that I would definitely recommend you guys check out, and that is Ultimax coming in at number 5. The next one here coming in at number 4 is Bait. So Bait is a game kind of like it sounds, where it's VR fishing and stuff like that. But they have these really nice environments that you're in, kind of exploring and stuff like that, as you can see here. And you can just chill there and play with your friends. Another one of these games is just really fun to play and also really social. You can kind of hang out with 4 of your friends in there, relax, do some fishing, talk and stuff like that while you're collecting, same thing what you would do in real life. People love going fishing to hang out and talk to people and be in boats and stuff like that. Think about doing that in VR with your friends, relaxing and catching fish and stuff, trying to collect the best one. You can play tournaments and stuff and play together, and they have these really cool mini games that you can also play in here, like rock skipping and the racing boat game that you saw. So really cool social hub. They have a little arcade game you can play as well. So really great social hub. This is another one of those. I love social hubs in VR games, and this is another one that did a really great job with it. This is Bait coming in at number 4. The next one here coming in at number 3 is Horizon Worlds, and specifically Super Rumble. As you guys are looking at here, Horizon Worlds keeps getting better and better, especially now with the tools that the developers are starting to use and stuff, or at least a couple of the developers Meta internally right now, until they let the tools kind of run rampant where everyone can use them. But this is the first game kind of using it. They did create another game as well, Citadel, that's also using these same tools where they're importing these graphics and stuff like that into Horizon Worlds, and you're getting a game like Super Rumble, which doesn't even feel like you're in Horizon Worlds. It's super fun, really chaotic FPS game where you feel like you have superpowers and stuff. If you have not checked out Horizon Worlds in a while, check it out for Super Rumble. The next game here coming in at number 2 is 4VR Cornhole. Now, I love the 4VR games that they make. They've made a lot of different games and stuff like that. This is the only one that is currently free to play. And Cornhole, obviously, if you guys are familiar with a game like this, is a fantastic game to play with friends. And this game is no different. You're playing in these cool environments and stuff. They even let you have music from YouTube, and they have their own music playing as well. You have all these different cornhole boards that you can unlock by progressing and stuff like that, and the bags that you can unlock and all that stuff. Super fun that you can play with 2 to 4 friends in there, and it's another one of those games that's really great online. You could, of course, play single player against you know, the AI and stuff, but the friends is definitely where the game is at. 4VR Cornhole coming in at number 2. And the last game here coming in at number 1 is probably not a surprise to most people, and that is Population 1, a game that recently went free to play. This is a battle royale game. It's been around for a while, and there's always a ton of people playing this game. And this game has so much to do. They've added, obviously, letting people create their own modes and maps now. So not only do they have the battle royale map where you're playing you know, on sets of 3 teams, they've added so much content to this game now that you can create your own, you know, levels and stuff like that, a la Fortnite, where you can create your own maps, your own game modes and stuff. So there's always something to do, always people to play with. The gunplay is fantastic. You know, climbing up the walls and stuff like that feels good in this game, flying around and stuff. Endless amount of content. So this game definitely reaches number 1, especially if you're a Battle Royale fan, and especially if you're an FPS fan. So much good stuff to play in here, guys. Check this out if you haven't already. Population 1 coming in at number 1. And that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this list, and stay tuned. The Quest 3 is coming soon, so we're going to be doing a lot of different content leading up to the launch and thereafter. I'll hopefully be getting mine on day 1 when it gets announced. And thank you guys for watching. Till next time.